stayed there for a while, not just to rest, but because, for the first time in a long while, we felt something beyond the fear. We felt the weight of everything we had lost, and maybe, just maybe, a flicker of hope. It was strange how silence could feel so loud. No one spoke, but I knew we were all thinking the same thing. About the people we used to be, the people we'd never see again. The sky above us had begun to turn amber, the way it did just before nightfall. Beautiful, almost unnaturally so, as if the world was apologizing for everything it had taken. Then Ellie broke the silence. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. We froze. A distant rumble, low, steady, not thunder, not an animal. It sounded mechanical. Mike stood up slowly, scanning the tree line. "There's smoke," he said, pointing toward the hills. Thin, but rising fast. I followed his gaze. He was right. Someone, or something, was out there. We all looked at each other. It wasn't a question of whether we were ready. We were never ready. But we stood. We gathered our things, and we started walking toward the smoke, toward the unknown. Because hope, even in its faintest form, asks only one thing of us: keep moving. We moved carefully, keeping low as the trees thinned. The smoke was clearer now, dark, rising in coils. Not a campfire, something bigger. The air felt different too, heavier. Each step forward pressed on us like a warning. Then we saw it. Just beyond the ridge where the valley dipped into what used to be the main road. There was a wrecked convoy, burned out trucks, twisted metal, and something else. Something still alive. At first we thought it was a survivor. It stood in the middle of the wreckage, motionless, as if waiting. Taller than a man, limbs too long, head tilted in an unnatural angle, no face, just a smooth, dark surface where features should have been. Reflecting us. Ellie gasped. The thing turned. It didn't walk. It glided. Fast. Silent. Mike raised his weapon, but it was already gone. Vanished between frames, like it had skipped time itself. We backed away, breath caught in our throats. Then, from the woods behind us, we heard it again. Number nodded. Them. Dozens of footsteps. No voices, no breath. Just motion. Surrounding us. The flicker of hope we felt? It was still there, but now it burned beside something else. The realization that this world wasn't just broken. It had evolved. And it had made something new. Something that knew we were here. And it was coming. We ran. No time to think. No time to speak. Just instincts. Branches tore at our clothes as we pushed through the undergrowth. Behind us, the silence was louder than any scream. They weren't chasing us like animals. They were herding us, pushing us somewhere. We stumbled into a clearing, a wide, flat space that used to be a power station. The tower was still standing, barely, steel girders warped, cables twitching in the wind. But the old backup generator was there, and it still had power. Mike looked at the tower, then at us. "We can overload it," he said. "Create a blast, big enough to take them out. Maybe even give others a chance to escape if they're watching." "But we'll be caught in it," Ellie said. "We'd be right in the center." Mike nodded. "It's not a good plan," he added. "But it's a plan." The group fell silent. We had seconds to decide. There were other options. We could split up. One of us could stay behind. Maybe trick them, lead them away. Maybe survive, but maybe not. The sound of static filled the air. The same interference we heard on the radios. The one we thought was just broken signals. Now we knew. It was them. And they were close. too close. I looked at Ellie, then at Mike, then at the tower. Somewhere out there, someone might still be alive. Maybe watching, maybe waiting for a sign that someone was still fighting. It came down to one question. Was survival enough anymore? Or was it time to make a stand? Mike didn't wait for a vote. He moved fast, ripping open the generator panel, sparks flying as he bypassed safeties with trembling hands. "I'll do it," he said, not looking up. "You two get out, now." "No." Ellie stepped forward. "We stay together. We finish this together." I hesitated. Every part of me wanted to run, but she was right. We'd lost too much already. Too many faces, too many names. If we had a chance to end it, or at least send a message, we had to take it. I joined Mike at the panel. "What do we do?" He looked at me. No fear in his eyes now, just resolve. "You hold that lever down when I say. The overload will build fast. Once it hits critical, it'll light up the whole sky, and them with it." Outside, the static grew louder. Shadows moved at the edge of the trees, slow, deliberate, watching. We were out of time. Mike gave the signal. The tower hummed, then roared, a deep, vibrating growl that shook the ground. I gripped the lever, feeling the heat rise. The creatures stepped into the clearing, pale, eyeless, drawn to the surge of energy. They didn't hesitate. They advanced. 10 seconds. The light from the tower turned blue, then white. 5 seconds. They were almost on top of us. 3. Ellie grabbed my hand. 2. Mike smiled. 1. Everything turned to light. Then, silence. For a while, that's all there was. Then, wind. Ash falling like snow, and distant voices crackling through the static. Repeat. We saw the surge. Coordinates locked. Survivors. Do you read? I opened my eyes. I was still alive. Ellie too, burned, shaken, but breathing. Mike didn't make it. But the creatures were gone. And the world, what was left of it, finally heard us. A blast of light in the darkness. A signal that we were still here. That maybe the end wasn't the end after all. We buried him at the edge of the clearing. No gravestone. Just a piece of twisted metal from the tower, driven into the earth like a marker, like a promise. The ground was still warm when we said goodbye. None of us spoke much. What do you even say when someone gives everything so that others might have a chance? Mike wasn't the loudest. He wasn't the strongest. But when it mattered most, he stood taller than all of us. He didn't try to be a hero. He just did what needed to be done. That's the part that stays with me. Not the explosion, not the sky turning white, but the look in his eyes when he said, "Go. I'll hold them." He knew what it meant, and he chose it anyway. Some people live their whole lives chasing meaning. Mike found his in a single moment, and because of that moment, we're still here, alive, grateful, changed. So we keep moving. For him. We keep hoping. For him. And every time we hear the wind through the trees, we remember. Mike didn't just light up the sky. He lit the path forward. You've been listening to our story. Every word we shared, every whisper of fear and flicker of hope, it all happened before we got here, before we reached them. The voices we used to hear through the static, the ones we clung to like lifelines in the dark. They were real. They were waiting. We found them. Or maybe they found us. The new base isn't much. Just cold walls, dim lights, and a roof that doesn't always hold. But it's safe. It's enough. They welcomed us not like strangers, but like family. Because in this world, surviving means more than finding shelter. It means finding each other. And now, from this base, from this fragile piece of what once was, we send our voices out into the dark, just like they did. Maybe someone, somewhere, is still out there. Maybe they're scared, or lost, or tired of hoping. So we tell our story not just to remember, we tell it to remind that there is life beyond the silence, that we can choose courage, even when everything inside us wants to give up, that people like Mike, like us, still matter. If you're hearing this, you're not alone. This is not the end. This is the beginning of something new. Stay alive. Stay human. We'll keep the signal on, always.